G'day guys and welcome to another tips video. Round 20 tips this week. Finals just around the corner. Watch this space. We've got Geelong and Sydney first up. Simmons Stadium Friday night game, which is going to be massive. Geelong a big win over Carlton by 65 points, and the Swans, they went down to the Hawks by a goal. Bit unlucky in the end. I'm going to go Sydney in this game by 29 points. Even though it's at home for us, I think the Swans are in amazing form. They've only lost to the Hawks 2 of their last 12 games, and both by the same margin. We haven't been in great form of late. Good win over Carlton was nice, but in reality, Sydney defeated us twice last year comfortably at home for us, and also at the G in a final. Don't like to talk about that, but yeah, they beat us basically the same way, so I can't see that changing. Dangerfield out is a massive out. Kennedy will be out as well, I believe, or is very unlikely to play, but I think Dangerfield's just too important. I think we can be competitive, but I don't think we can get the win. So, go on the Swans. GWS in Melbourne, I think that's University Stadium. It's somewhere in Canberra. It's GWS's home ground, and they got over the Dockers by 12 points, I believe. It was very close, and they got over the line. And Melbourne, they went down by 4 points. Couldn't get the 4 points over North Melbourne down in Tassie. I'm going to go the Giants in this game by 9 points. They haven't been that impressive, but mainly because it's at home for them. Hopefully Delidio's back, I believe. I have to double check that, but yeah, Melbourne, they'll be competitive and they generally win when they're not expected to, but yeah, the Giants at home, I think they've dropped a game there for 2 years, so a bit harder to tip against them there. Next game we have up is Essendon and Carlton at the MCG, and the Bombers, they went down to the Dogs. It was actually so close until I think the last 3 or 4 minutes, and the Dogs piled on 4 goals, so they went down by 5 goals in the end, and the Blues, they went down to the Cats by 65 points. Nice win for the Cats there, and looks like Carlton are tiring a little bit, so I'm going to tip Essendon by 24 points. I think that when they play their best footy, they're really exciting, and just keep running and dashing the ball from end to end, play a very attacking style, and you just see that superseding Carlton, so I think the Bombers for the win there. Next up we have the Brisbane Lions and the Western Bulldogs hosting at the Gabba. Excuse me. Yeah, so the Lions, they went down to the Eagles by a big margin last week. The Dogs won pretty comfortably in the end over the Bombers very late. I'm going to have to go to the Dogs here by 11 points, mainly because they're the better side, but it will be a pretty competitive game at the Gabba. Brisbane are much tougher to beat up there, as we all know. And they've just started to get their cogs rolling, the Dogs, and I think they're slightly back on track and will need to win this to make the 8, you would think. So tipping the Dogs. North Melbourne and Collingwood Etihad Stadium, Saturday night football there, and I'm going to tip Collingwood by 6 points, so ultra impressive against Adelaide. North won by 4 points in Tassie over the D's, and Collingwood drew with Adelaide after being 50 points up. So as I was saying, they were ultra impressive for the Crows first half and a bit, but then after that it was all Adelaide, and they fought back, but Adelaide fought back again, and they were too good. So look, I think Collingwood have the grit to get across the line. They get a lot of the football. They need to make the most of it. But I certainly think North are a big chance as well to get the win. They play Etihad as good as anyone when they're on, of course. And that'll be a very close game, no doubt. So I'm tipping the Pies by 6 points. I think they're just slightly better. And Daniel Wells, that'll be a big talking point too. Fremantle and Gold Coast at Domain Stadium, and Freo at home. They had the Giants held captive for a while last week, especially towards 3/4 time, but couldn't get across the line, unfortunately. And the Gold Coast, they went down to the Tigers without Jack Riewoldt, and maybe someone else. We'll go with someone else. I can't think of their name. I'm going to go the Dockers by 33 points. I think mainly because at home, that's pretty much the only reason. Stephen May and Ablett could be big inclusions if they come back, but look, be very tough. They haven't been in great form. Neither the Dockers, but I think the Dockers have been slightly less worse form, so I'll go them. We've got the Saints and West Coast at Etihad Stadium, the Eagles' happy hunting ground. And the Saints, they lost the unlosable game, 10 points up against Port Adelaide, and went down by 4 with 2 goals in the last minute. It was unbelievable. They couldn't shut that down. And the Eagles, they had a big win over Brisbane. I think it was around 10 goals, so they'll take that in their stride. And I'm tipping the Saints by 20 points, mainly because at Etihad, and when they play good footy there, which is usually where they play it, they're very tough to beat. And if they bring that pressure game, the Eagles can kiss it goodnight, probably kiss finals goodbye as well. Nick Rowell, Manny Pritis and Sam Mitchell, lots of names being thrown up for retirement, and that will retire at the end of the year, so it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out there. And I think the Saints will just be a little bit too good. Eagles don't like Melbourne very often. Richmond and Hawthorn at the MCG in a massive clash here. We've got the Tigers getting a nice win over the Suns, and the Hawks, they did the impossible, bet the Swans by a goal. And my voice is just dying in this episode. I'm going to go the Tigers by 2 points. It'll be very close. The Hawks have been in great form of late. Only really lost to the Cats, and that was by a small margin, and they lost it. We didn't win it. Yeah, I can certainly tip Hawthorn, but I'm just going to go Richmond because they've given a nice body of work over the course of the season and have a really good game style. Their tackling pressure up forward has really caused trouble for a lot of opposition, so going the Tigers there. Final game we got Adelaide and Port Adelaide, the showdown. Adelaide drew with Collingwood after being 50 points down, so it's good as a win. And they'll probably stay on top of the ladder with that draw, so that's fantastic for them. And Port Adelaide, they stole one from St Kilda, so footy's going very well in South Australia. I'm going to go the Crows by 26 points. They hadn't done last time. I think they got over around 3 goals. I think it was thereabouts. And the Crows have won the last 4 showdowns, and they're a really good side, so that's why they've been beating Port Adelaide. Could be closer, I'm not sure, but I think, yeah, the Crows' game style, the way they move the football, they're exhilarating to watch. They'll be very tough to beat. I think they've just got a few more tricks than Port Adelaide. I think Wingard still was out. Could have a bit of firepower out, and I think the Crows get Lever back. And, yeah, they'll get Lever back, so that'll be good. I think the Crows for mine. So, those are my tips for round 20 of the season. Getting close to finals, getting excited, can't wait. So, feel free to comment your tips, guys. Like the video, share it around, that'd be great. And subscribe, that'd be awesome. I'll catch you guys all next time.